Welcome to the Life and X podcast.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on, Praise.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
So let's start with, what do you do at Next? Like, what part of the business you in?
Okay, so I'm in e-commerce and I am a developer.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice. So on the tech side of e-commerce, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly.
So actually doing the coding.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. So some of the things that you actually see on your phone,
Nice.
I've worked on some of those things.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
And is that literally building the code? And
Yeah.
what kind of things have you developed?
So the most recent thing that I can actually mention, which went live maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, on the sofa builder page, so if you want a custom sofa,
Yeah.
So we had like an old facial structure to that. So we just revamped it, made it look a little bit new. So if you actually go on, it's not on the app, it's on the website, the site itself.
Yeah.
If you look at the sofa builder page, we actually worked on that.
Nice.
And it's such a great feeling to actually say, I did that.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. All the hard work,
Yeah.
all the testing, fixing bugs, you actually see it working and people actually buying stuff. It's amazing.
And that's it. I think in any role at Next, I think that's what a lot of people strive for.
Yeah.
That end
It's
result.
fulfilling.
The
Yeah.
fulfilling result
Yeah.
of whether you're building product and you
Yeah.
see it in store.
Exactly.
Or whether you're doing like a podcast, like, you know,
Yes.
for me, I'm filming
Yes.
podcast episodes and you
Yes.
see it come on and you're like, oh, it's good. We're past 500, we're past 1,000 views. You
Yeah.
know, it's
amazing.
It's really,
Yeah.
it's that like,
You see it come to life.
Yeah.
Like you're part of the beginning and you're literally part of the end and you just carry it through.
and you're part of the brand.
Yes.
Like you've got millions of people looking
Yeah.
at a page buying sofas.
Yeah.
So what is that page actually? Because you know what, I've sort of know what you mean, but
Yeah.
is it where you can customize all the
Yeah.
different fabrics and things?
Yes, exactly. So if you went and you searched corner sofa,
Yeah.
and then you get the option to choose the fabric, the fee, if you want a large sofa, if you want a medium-sized sofa, and you can actually order the fabrics for free before you actually build the sofa. So if you want to order 5 fabrics to see which one matches in your home, then you choose
Very
that.
important.
So yeah.
And then you've got to put it in different light.
Yes.
Been there, like, right, what's it look like when the lights are on? What's it look like when they're off?
Exactly, yeah.
Lamps on. You've got a movie on. Oh,
Yeah.
it looks a bit off. Yeah. So much goes into it.
So all of that, you get the choice to choose.
Yeah.
So it's your own very made sofa.
And why have you always been in developing in technology? Is that something you've always been in since you've been at Next?
Yeah. So I started off with Lipsy initially, before they came in together with Next. So I was with Lipsy for about 9 months, and then I moved to e-commerce. So we've just been on the browse and shop side. Whatever the customer does, we're just a part of that. So it's been a journey.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting journey, obviously ups and downs. But like I said, it's so fulfilling to actually see what you've done on the website. Like, wow, me and the team, we worked on that.
Yeah,
So,
I get that from a lot of developers actually that I speak to. They love that impact of the brand. It always seems the impact part and the innovation.
Yeah.
You know, some of the expectations we've got here, they're so important to that population and those kind of people who develop.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I think it's probably as well, because, you know, coding, like, how long does it take?
Wow. How long do you have? No, I think it just depends on what you're working on.
The complexity of it,
Yes. And if there's like a team of people who are doing stuff, so maybe if it's the sofa builder page, for instance, what we've just done, someone will be assigned to do the desktop version, someone will be assigned to do the mobile version, and then there's the styling and making sure that everything works together. And then we have the QA who make sure that everything that we've done, so quality assurance, they're the testers. So they basically try and break everything that we've done.
But that's a good relationship.
So we do have a bit back and forth. But I think it's just to make sure that once our code goes live, you know,
you need it, though.
Yeah,
because
nothing
otherwise
breaks.
it's going to be the customer telling you, and that's really not good at all. Yeah.
So if it's customer facing, we need to go through a few things to make sure that what we've actually written won't break, it won't slow customers down, it won't slow sales. because we wouldn't want that.
No. Then you'd get real time Q&A, wouldn't you? You'd be like, oh my God,
yeah, definitely not something we'd
so want. It's not just the developer developing it, off it goes. There's a lot of processes to it.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we have.
And how long you been here in total now?
So I've been here 7 years this year. 7 years in July. And it's been a journey. I actually came to Next when I started my relationship with my husband. So we went through, I got engaged at Next. I got married at Next.
Not on site.
Not on site. But it's just like my whole journey has been here. And then I had a baby. I went off on maternity leave for a year.
Nice.
And then I came back. Thank you. And it's just like Next has been a part of every little thing that's happened to me since uni. And it's such an amazing thing to have like a little Next family.
And do you find that, because I hear that quite a lot,
Yeah.
but I know a lot of people here that they say to me, you know, like even with people they work with, they've seen that person, like you say, get married, had kids, gone through even like bad times, gone through things and really grown up with the brand. Yeah. Would you say that's same for you?
Yeah,
then?
100%. So some of my colleagues that came to the wedding, some have seen the baby as well. So it's just nice to have that relationship. Like, you obviously are colleagues. We keep it professional, but we also involve each other like with everyday life. So we celebrate together. If something bad has happened, then we take notice of that and we console together as well. So the Next family is very, very friendly. Yeah, and I appreciate.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
and I think that's as well. It's not just like it's never just within one team.
Yeah.
I find that very transferable across the whole business. Exactly. Like if, I can talk to someone about something, they'll be like, oh, what's going on, Matt, with you and this, and I can explain, or I'll be like, oh, this is happening and this is really good, or I'm doing this at the moment with my house, and people can, really like, they just want to know. Like they're genuinely interested. It doesn't ever feel like, like
it's like
that.
A tick box. No, like people genuinely
like that classic work chat.
Yeah.
You're not like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
It's more genuine than that. There's a lot of genuine people
here.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Oh, okay. So how long have you been back from maternity?
So I came back 2022. He's 2 now. Yeah. I'm just trying to work it out of my head. 2022. And I went back into the same team, back to development. It was a bit of a struggle to come back after some time off, but I came back into the team. And at the time when I was a developer before, we didn't really have like a Scrum Master. So then I came back.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. I came back to the team. And we had the Scrum Master. And I was like, oh, okay, I haven't seen this in the 6 years that I've been working at Next. What is this about? So she left the company, unfortunately. But then because of this role, I thought, actually, what is this thing that she's doing? So I quite enjoyed what I was seeing her do. And then I had the privilege of kind of taking on a little bit of what she was doing in parallel to my development work. Yeah. And I just absolutely loved this role. And I'm so grateful to my manager for letting me take a little piece of that to see, in terms of career development, Next is so supportive in like career development and what you're interested in, because all I've ever known is developer. Now, this lady completely opened like a whole new page that I feel like I would like to explore this. Yeah. So I feel like I've had the chance and I'm having the chance to kind of have a little peek at what that is and what it could be about in the future.
That's so exciting.
So, yeah.
I mean, what a cool job title as well,
I know.
Like,
I know.
I just go for it for the job title alone. Like, I am a Scrum Master.
Yeah. So,
I am a Scrum Master.
So, apart from development, that is all I've done at Next. But maybe in the future, I'll get the chance to.
And so you've got a flavour of it. And what is that like? Because obviously you explained developing. What's the difference between the two?
It's not like a manager, but maybe the bridge between the manager and the developers. And obviously we have to speak to the stakeholders as well. It's the middleman making sure that things get done. Kind of like a postman between the manager, the developer, the stakeholders, and making sure that everything that we set out to do actually gets done.
I always find with those kind of roles, because I've been in a role like that before in the past as well, it's like you're translating everyone's different language.
I think you have to.
I know we're all speaking English, but a developer is thinking a certain way.
Yeah.
The manager's thinking a certain way, and the stakeholder is, and you're like in the middle going, I'll make sure you all get
happy.
Like because the developer might be like want to tell everyone about every bit of code, and the stakeholders like
they don't.
Is it done?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
You've got to get it from. God, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So really more people focused then.
Yes. A little bit away from the screen. And a little bit more interaction with people. Yeah.
Because I guess sometimes with developing, and rightly so, you know, because there's a lot of roles, whether it be working with data or even doing like graphic design or video editing, those people get really engrossed with it because they have to, because it's like to make the best product. So I guess this kind of, like you say, takes you away a bit from that and allows you to do a bit. So, hopefully then, because you've got that experience now, something develops.
Yeah. So it's funny because there's been a few team changes around. So my current manager now is or was actually a Scrum Master. So I'm literally sat under her learning everything that she's doing.
Just absorbing it.
Yes, exactly. So she is my manager now, but before she became a manager, she was a Scrum Master.
Nice.
So it's just nice to actually see it in person and get that hands-on experience for
And you're
somebody.
seeing that career path now. You're going, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
There's that step, but then there's also the next one as well.
Yeah.
And it's good as well, because I know this happens across everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not, I want to do this, and it's not like, oh no, you're a developer. It's like, okay, have a bit of this. Like, try it out for us.
Exactly.
Yeah, try it out. See if you've got, see if you enjoy it, and see if you've got the skills to do the role.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So I'm grateful for that.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah,
that sounds exciting.
exciting.
That does sound exciting.
Very exciting.
And also, are you still, I remember a long time ago, because we did a campaign together, didn't we, ages ago for the employer brand.
A very long time ago.
God, that was so long ago now.
Before lockdown even.
Yeah, that was like the first one I did.
Yeah.
And I remember it. I can remember everything. I remember getting very stressed out about it at points, because it was like the first time we went that big, but it was really good.
Yeah.
But I remember as well you saying you were a part of the Unity network.
Yes.
Are you still a part of it? Well, obviously you're always a part of the network.
Yes. So I was a lot more actively involved before the baby. But then when he came, I stepped down a little bit. But I was involved with the meetings, with some of the plannings.
Yeah.
And it was quite a great group of people from Next, because it's obviously run by the employees, run by us. So it was such a great thing to celebrate different cultures.
And that's what Unity is, right?
Exactly. It's about the celebration and the acknowledgement that it's not just me here, but we've got so many different cultures in Next, and we celebrate things so differently. So to see how people celebrate different things, different times of the year, it's actually quite amazing to see that.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, that's a nice segue into like why we're celebrating Black History Month at the moment as well, isn't it? That's what we're trying to do, you know, to celebrate that, to give people insight into maybe something they're not aware of. And it's great that that's something that, again, comes from Unity, one of our employee-led networks. Like you say, it's not a couple of people in HR doing it. It's actual people that are like, no, we feel strongly for this. And then the next team, whoever will be involved, whether it be, you know, people in the employer brand team or people in HR or people around the business, will all get together to make it happen. So that's really good.
Yeah.
So why is it important that we have, like we do celebrate Black History Month? Why do you think that is?
I was actually asking this question. We've had a conversation with my husband a few days ago.
Yeah.
So he was asking me, why is there just a month?
Yeah.
And I think many people ask this, like, why do we have to celebrate Black people, but we don't celebrate, like, there isn't like a white history month or an Asian history month. And then I was like, okay, we have mothers. I'm a mom now, so I would know. But we only have one Mother's Day. or we only have one Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's not to say that you're only important on the one day, but it's to just acknowledge that, hey, I know that you're here. I know that you've been doing stuff. I know that you're a mom. I know that you're a dad. And for me, I feel like the importance of Black History Month is to say, hey, I know that you're here.
Yeah.
I know that people in the past have done things. We haven't had the acknowledgement of Black people that much in the past, but there were so many people that had to do so many things for Black people for us to get a little bit of the limelight. So it's not just like, okay, we're just going to give Black people 1 month, but it's to say, listen, we know you're here. Yeah. We know the stuff that's happened in the past for you to get where you are. So let's celebrate that. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
That's a good way of putting it, because I do hear that argument a lot, and not just for Black History Month. It's the same for like Pride Month, or it could be the same for. Well, it's like you could even apply it to like Christmas.
Exactly. Like just why the one day?
Why do we do the one day? I mean, I know it's all the build up to it, but it's like, why the one day? But I mean, obviously that's got significance for religious purposes as well. Yeah. But for some people it doesn't, but it's just one day. Yeah. But again, it's just that
it's
for some
people,
it might be like, acknowledgement of family, and other people it might be acknowledgement of Christ, and all these different things. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it, though. Yeah. I do like that. That's a good counterpoint. I bet that was a bit of a good debate between you and your husband. Yes. That's really good. Yeah. Because, like you say, that's what we are trying to do, to highlight it, to then inform people and go, well, did you know about all of this? Yes, exactly. Because as well, being in marketing myself, like being like in a marketing role and background. Yes, you need to consistently say things over and over again, but you then at the same time, you just can't keep saying the same thing at all the time. If I was just sitting here saying to you the same thing over and again, you just get like bored of it. And you'd be like, I've heard that. You've got to think of different ways at different times.
The same. Yeah.
Same thing, but in different ways.
Different ways, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. So like we talk about it on this podcast, but we'd also, highlight some of the people. Like we just did this great thing where we had loads of interns come in as well, and they were from all different backgrounds as well. And that's another way to say, look, we do value people coming from different backgrounds, because it's such an important thing.
It is.
It's such an important thing.
It is.
It's really, really important. And we've got this massive D&I commitment that we want to, recruit and get the best people for the best role. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what background you come from. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's great that Next acknowledged that.
Yeah.
It's great that we have a chance to actually bring that into Next and celebrate Black History Month. Yeah. Because I think it's important.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. I'm glad you. That's a really, really good way of phrasing it. I'm gonna steal that, by the way.
You can have it.
I'm definitely gonna, because I have a lot of these discussions all the time of like, Matt, why are we just doing it for a month? And I'm like, hey, I didn't decide Black History Month, but it is.
It's just the acknowledgement of it, and obviously life moves on, so we can't always have Black History. We can't always have Easter. So if we can at least have it for a month or for a week, whatever it is, at least as an acknowledgement that, hey, something else is happening in the world that's just not making us confined to just Next, but we know what's happening around us.
That's it's so true. And also it propels it and puts it into, it will help propelling it and putting it into the norm, Yeah. So then it's in people's conversations more. Yeah. It introduces people to it. It goes, oh yeah, okay, that's why it's Black History Month. Exactly. That's why it's Pride. Yeah. That's why we're talking. We've just done a real big thing about like the sunflower lanyard as well for disability. Yeah. It's the same with that. Well, why are we doing that? Yeah. Well, it's to help people. It's to highlight hidden disabilities. Exactly. There's a whole range of things that we're trying to do for D&I. Yeah. That's really, really important and a core part of what we are as a brand now. Yeah. And it matters a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely.
It does.
Every single one of them, they matter.
Yeah.
Because even if it's just like a couple of people who represent it, then you're speaking on their behalf.
And I think as well, because, you know, I guess when you were more involved in Unity for, you know, having a child, which, let's face it, is probably going to take a lot of your time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
There's so many areas of Next. It's not just like Enderby campus as well.
Yeah.
You know, we're all over the country.
Yeah.
So we've got retail stores everywhere. We've got distribution warehouses everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we've got contact centres as well. So there's all these different parts that attract so many different people to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I even think in at Enderby campus where I work, there's so many industries that relate to so many different things and cultures. It's really good.
Yeah.
Is there anything you do in particular so when you were chatting with your husband, is there anything in particular around Black history that you'd maybe do differently or try and get more involved or anything like that? Or is that's a good question, yeah.
That's a good question.
That's a really good question, Matt.
That's a really good question. I think just having the conversation, even now, and just having the conversation about making it known to people, like for instance the sunflower, like if it wasn't something that was highlighted by Next, I don't think I would have taken notice of it, or I don't think I would have known about it, because it was only because of the campaign here that I learned what the sunflower is and what it represents. So in terms of Black History Month, I think I wasn't born here, but my son was born here and his cousins are born here. And I think we'll have generations to come that will be born here that probably won't know the history of where we do come from. Right. So having Black History Month is not just to celebrate Black history, but is to explain to our children and our children's children that this is what happened long before we could come here, long before anything like this could happen. So I think there's a big part of also giving education to the Black children being born in this country who have no idea of what the people in the past did, and educating them to say, okay, you're here now because this guy did this for you like all those years ago. And it's just say, okay, we need to acknowledge that and we need to celebrate that. So I think it's just, bringing the education up to the kids who are growing up now who might take it for granted, for instance, to say there's actually a history of what's going on.
That's
and
a really
why we're
good
here.
point. That's such an important point, because like you say, you don't want to forget, and you don't want to forget history in any aspect. Yeah. Because what you don't want is history repeating itself as well. Exactly. That's what you don't want. Yeah. So to be educated and informed of that is going to help as well, just build a better future as well. So it's not to, like you say, there's that celebration, and then there's also the education. It's
absolutely.
to bring those two together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, that's a good way. Oh, there. You've got some good answers, by the way. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think you'll get over time as your son gets older? Do you think you'll get back involved with Unity, or is that something you'd like to do?
I would, 100%. Yeah, I would. Like, I love what it stands for. I loved meeting the new people and actually being involved in some of the things that we came up to. So I would like to take it back on.
Yeah.
At some point. I don't know when.
the Unity Network will be like chatting you and everything. That'll be like, praise, you said you wanted to come back.
Oh, gosh.
I know you'll be like, oh dear, what's Matt saying?
I will go back. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the thing. That's the good thing, isn't it? Like, it's not these networks that, if there is anyone that's listening internally. Yeah. And when you come into Next, anyone can be part of these communities. Yeah. So even if you're not from that, even if you're not Black, even if you're not, whatever you like, if you want to be part of that community, go be part of it. Yeah. And equally, if you've got a lot of life stuff going on, it's like,
I'm going to
take 5.
Exactly. And when you are involved, there isn't like a set amount of contribution that you can do. If you can come to some meetings, if you can come to all meetings, like it suits you as a person. So yeah.
And I think the thing is, it is supported.
Yeah.
It's supported then by the business, by Next. You know, there are things set in place like we say, it's like, right, we're going to focus on Black History Month.
Yeah.
So then as a collective, people then put their efforts in to make sure changes in, you know, really put in place.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, you'll be getting a call soon, I imagine.
I will. I'm ready to answer for what I've been talking about.
yeah. I'd be like, oh, Prey said some really good stuff about Black History Month. Like, I think we can use that. Yeah. And what kind of you spoke a bit as well there about you know, the role and development and stuff like that. What's it like working in tech generally? Is it in those 7 years that you've been here? Has that developed a lot, or?
It has.
Yeah.
Well, the technology, for instance, has developed.
Yeah.
We're moving from an old technology into newer technologies on different parts of the page, on the website, different parts of the website. And it's really fast paced. It keeps you on your feet. It keeps you thinking. But there's always people around you to help you. Always a great community of developers that it's not like one developer does their own thing. We work as a family. I know it's a bit cringe to say that, but it is like a family because we're all working towards the same goal. You know, we're all working towards putting this on the website and making sure that it all goes well. So everybody has their bits of work to do. But if somebody is struggling, then we're not afraid to stop on your work and to give a hand to somebody who's lagging behind or who can't understand what's going on. But it's very fast-paced because it's obviously, it's customer-facing. Yeah. So if there's something that doesn't look right on the website, we need to fix it really, really quickly. Yeah.
And I guess as well, because is it just how does it work in all the different territories and countries then as well? Is it fixing that on multiple, or is it kind of a master code that you...
So there is like a master code, but because we've got different clients now. So if a different client, so let's say Victoria's Secret, if they want a bright red button or a bright pink button,
their brand.
Yes, for their brand, we can tailor make that for them, and it won't affect us, it won't affect any of the other clients. So there is like a master code, but we've got specific bits of code if other clients want to tailor made to their brand to make it their home brand.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we do now, like you raise a good point, we do have
different brands
as part of our total platform offering.
Yes, exactly.
One of the things we offer is e-commerce service.
Yeah.
So that's building the site and posting the product on there.
Yeah.
And then obviously logistic comes into that. And then before you know, we can support in the whole way. But it's that's an exciting part that, again, a lot of people won't know that about Next, that we build all these different sites. I think there's quite a few now that are live.
Yeah, there's quite a few. We've got Victoria's Secret. We've got Reese. We've got Gap.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we've got Laura Ashley.
Yeah.
You're testing me now. We've got a lot.
Yeah, we've got a lot.
Fat Face.
Yeah.
We've got quite a few. So we can tailor make those to whatever they want.
And as well, I'm just thinking about all those sites in my head. I think a lot of people think, oh, they all look the same then, but they actually don't, do they? They're all... I think one thing that's been really clear with all of this is that they all still look and feel like the brand.
Yes.
So it doesn't just merge into one big thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we wouldn't want that. Because
we still want the brands to have their own identities.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Some things might be similar across the board.
Yeah.
But there will be some very specific things that you'll notice that, that's different on Gap than it is on Victoria's Secret. That's different on Reese. We just tailor make it to what the brand wants.
And why did you first get into developing, by the way? Like, you could have done anything. You could have done anything, but why did you pick developing?
I think at the time, which was many, many years ago, I think at college, I decided to do computer science just to explore a little bit of what it was. And then I moved on to uni to do the actual computer science course. So I think it just drew me because at the time I was interested in laptops and I didn't really know the depth of what I was getting myself into. But I just liked the idea of going into technology. And it was such an amazing thing to see. I think at the time at college, I stuck up like a sore thumb because I was in a class full of guys. So initially it was just guys doing it. And also in my uni class, maybe a lecture of 300 people, there were actually like 5 or 6 girls. Yeah, in the class. So over the years, it's nice to see a lot more women come into technology. Yeah, a little bit more, not that much. Yeah. But it's nice to see a lot more women come into technology, into coding, because stuff has really changed from like 7-8 years back, where it was really
male dominated.
Yes, male dominated. Yeah, but I think now you're starting to see a bit more females coming in, and I think we actually know what we're doing.
Well, yeah, clearly, yeah. I mean, gender does not determine, 100%.
Yeah, so I think it was just a curiosity at the beginning, why I got into computer science, and then doing the course, looking for a job, starting at Next, I was like, oh my, this is actually fulfilling. Yeah. Because you've got something at the end of a screen that you can actually say, I did that.
And we've come full circle back to the fulfilling.
Exactly. Yeah. I think every job needs that.
Purpose.
It keeps you going.
Purpose and fulfillment. I totally agree. It helps, well, in anything as well, not just your work.
Absolutely.
If you've got that, gives you that drive, that reason to do things. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a really good place to end. I mean, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's been great. And good luck with the Scrum Master stuff.
Thank you. Thank you very much.